Hello everyone, my name is Logan, and welcome to Macungie, Pennsylvania on May 1st. Around a half an hour after we arrived, the westbound milepost 26 signals would light up displaying a red over red on main 1 and a high green on main 2, indicating both a westbound and an eastbound. The westbound train would show first, hauling trash loads from Oak Island, New Jersey to Mingo Junction, Ohio. This is 63V, a daily train that works a facility in Bridgewater, New Jersey known as BRI. There's a lot of trash in the New York City area, which is why this train runs daily and why it has a daily counterpart, which is empty. We'll be seeing that train later in this video. The eastbound was 30A, an unfamiliar face to us at the time. This manifest runs from Enola to Allentown, Pennsylvania, and works GM in Hershey and Spring Street Yard in Reading on the way. It was a very short train, 30A usually is. We had to wait a grueling 2 hours with a serious lack of trains, and what we got was a very familiar face, unlike 30A. This is 21M. From Croxton, New Jersey to 63rd Street Yard in Chicago, Illinois. On its trek, it doesn't work anywhere. It's a very high priority train.
Here we go. Is he on the close track?
You might be wondering, what makes 21M such a high priority train? Well, it hauls UPS and FedEx equipment, which are two of NS's biggest customers. They need to be where they need to be on time, which is why this train is one of the highest priorities on the line. Next would be an eastbound manifest led by another EMD SD70 Ace, 1115. This train came about a half an hour after 21M. Note the two distributed power units found in the middle of the train's consist. 16T comes from Irondale, Alabama, and it works a lot of places on its route. It picks up a lot of cars in yards like DeButt's Yard in Chattanooga, Tennessee, and Hagerstown, Maryland. This means it needs extra power, which is where those distributed units come in. Now, 16T, despite being a lower priority train than some of the intermodals, was still moving very good through Macungie. Now, earlier in the video, I mentioned an empty trash train. Well, here it is, 62V. This runs the exact opposite route as 63V, including the work in BRI. This train is empty, as I mentioned before, and it was led by a Tier 4 GEVO, 3665. By this point in the day, a plethora of other railfanners had joined us to enjoy the beautiful Saturday weather and watch some trains. You could hear the crew of 62V blowing some extra horn down in the parking lot to say hi to some railfanners there. This was a pretty slow 62V, which is weird because the last train was an eastbound and it was a half an hour ago, so there was no one opposing them and there was no one in front of them. But maybe they just had to slow down for whatever reason. Trains do their thing. Hey, what do you know? Another very familiar face in 20K, which runs the exact opposite route as 21M and also does not work anywhere. A nice horn show from the crew was a good bonus to make this an awesome catch. Note the sheer amount of EMP containers found at the front of this train. Now, 20K transports intermodal traffic in all sorts of ways, including well cars, which hold single and double stacked containers, spine cars, which hold truck trailers, and flat cars that have single level containers on them. This is eastbound 10K with a DPU. If you've seen some of the other videos on my channel, then you know what 10K is and what its route is. It sometimes works Reading, Pennsylvania as well, and it came at 117. Once I got back to the flower park from farther up the street, I was able to see the headlights of 211. Train 211 will sometimes have some work to do in the intermodal yard located in Rutherford, Pennsylvania, just east of Harrisburg. Now, this train goes to Atlanta, Georgia's Inman Yard, and it hauls UPS containers and trailers, which explains its high priority nature. Inman Yard is a large intermodal yard, not just for Norfolk Southern, but also for the Union Pacific and for Kansas City Southern, making it a huge multi-railroad hub. The final train of the day was 212, which is 211's opposite, and it runs the exact opposite route on the same days. Speeding through Macungie with an absolutely amazing horn show, 212 was led by SD70 ACC 1814, and it was very late. 212 normally comes through Macungie at about 6 in the morning on Saturdays. It was a treat to see this one. Guys, thank you so much for watching this railfanning adventure. I hope you enjoyed it. In the wise words of Danny Harmon, I'll see y'all out on the high iron. Take care, everyone.